Hello. I am going to give a little testimonial about how Rochelle has helped me so much. A few months ago, I just completely crashed physically. Like, I could not get out of bed. And I knew it was stress related. Like, I'd been under so much stress, and then I could feel myself like I just can't keep, all the plates spinning. And I just had to crash. So anyway, I told my husband, like, I just need a break. And he's like, okay, I'll ask my parents to watch the kids or whatever. And they took the kids. And then I went to bed and I couldn't get out of bed. I was so exhausted, like even to get up and get food, I couldn't. And anyway, long story short, I found out that I had adrenal crash and my adrenals were like bottomed out, not working. So, my mom ended up coming. I was in bed for like 2 months. Well, for 2 weeks, I couldn't get out of bed, like literally. To get up to go to the bathroom or eat was like, can't do it. It took so much energy to just get myself up out of bed, go to the bathroom, and come back to bed. Anyway, and so I found out that my adrenals had crashed through another naturalist, and my mom came for about a month, and I was getting better. I was taking like supplements and stuff that this other doctor had kind of recommended. But I still wasn't like totally better. Like I couldn't take care of my kids. So my mom was like, well, I have to go home, back to Wyoming. I live in South Carolina. And so she had me and the kids fly back to Wyoming with her, and I was there for another couple of weeks. I went and saw a massage therapist that I have in Wyoming, and I was like so tight. My muscles were so tight and just trying to work those out. And I'm like, I just don't feel like I'm the kind of person that's like is holding on to stuff or like super stressed out in my muscles, but I'm just so tight. Like, what is going on? And she was like, you know what? I saw Rochelle once, and I think an emotional release would probably be really good for you. I was like, this is physical, right? So, but I was like, okay, well, I'll try anything to get better. So I called Rochelle. She got me in the next day. We did a virtual meeting, and I was a little bit skeptical, like, how does this work virtually? But it was incredible. It was life-changing, to be honest, and I don't use that lightly. Like, at that point, I was like, okay, I could get through the day as long as I took a nap. I was like really careful, but I was still like, go up the stairs and just like have to stop and like, I'm so winded and so tired, anything like that. But at least I was up some, and about. But then I met with Rochelle, and she did an emotional clearing, and she was like, well, we have to see, what the body is ready to release. And so I was hoping it was adrenals, and it was. And so she was like, okay, your body's saying it's ready to release in the adrenals, all this stuff. And she's like, let me test where you're at. And I believe it was like 42%, something in the 40s. She's like, you're functioning at like 40% in your adrenals. I was like, yeah, I can tell. And then so she was like, let's release all this junk that's in your adrenals, like a lot of anxiety, stress, like lack of motivation, a block to joy. I can't remember all of it, but it's like, she did the emotional release virtually, and I immediately felt so much better. She ran, tested again, like at what my function was at that point, and she said it was, I believe she said like 67, somewhere in there. So it had gone up like 20%, over 20%. And I felt so much better. Like even at that point, I was like, I didn't need a nap in the day and I could get through the day. Well, then a little while, you know, I'm still like, I think we actually did 2 emotional releases and I was doing a little better, but I wasn't quite, you know, quite up there in the 90s yet, or 100% at all, like maybe 80 something percent. And she's like, well, I can do, you know, muscle testing and figure out like physically things that you can take as well. And so we did that, and she kind of adjusted some of my dosages, added some stuff in to take, and within like a couple of weeks, I felt so much better after adjusting that. And then we did another session where she tested my adrenals, and they were 97%. And I felt so much better. And just with those 2 things combined, like that were affecting each other, like our physical affects our emotional and our emotional affects our physical. And yeah, now I'm back home. I'm doing, you know, I don't need help with the kids. Of course I get, you know, tired. I'm still taking supplements, and she's helping with that, like adjusting the supplements and keeping on with that, and you know, releasing some of the stress in my life, stuff like that. But I am so grateful for Rochelle's help. It's been amazing.